welcome to the Phoenix Business Exchange East End Edition. It's a beautiful day out there, a little overcast, but it's 7 degrees and spring is arriving. Yay! Did I tell you about the raccoon that showed up at the front door of our house? I'm walking to the front of the house, and all of a sudden the screen door is shut. All I see is I see a little bit, and then this head pops up, literally looking inside the house, going, "Hey, supper!" I'm going, "Oh." The things you see in the neighborhood. Anyhow, that's not a Phoenix Business Exchange meeting member. He's got business to conduct, and it's not here. But what we are looking for are people that are conducting business, and the business is, connecting with folks, right, and getting your business off the ground and making things happen. And we have a guest coming in also, and his name is David Snell. And just giving you that kind of the heads up on that piece. And I'm going to swing over to our Phoenix website. And here we go as I launch that. And so, member of the week, Lord Thunder, look at that. It's Jacqueline. And you know what? And Jacqueline's presenting today. What are the odds? What are the odds? The odds are in favor of Jacqueline. So this is a good thing. You want to know what Jacqueline does? Click the red button. You take the red pill. No, click the red button and her contact details will pop up. All right. So whether it's by email, by phone, no carrier pigeon. And then if you go over here, you'll see a little video that she has, and it's all about the mortgage business that she's in. All right. And so now the other red buttons on here, Monday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 Eastern, is the Bell's Corners group. Today, the Wednesday group, 8 to 9. Click here. So if you're looking from the outside in, click here. Thursday morning, 8 to 9, a South End group. And then on May 26th, we are having a 7 p.m., that's on a Tuesday, an after hours group for Phoenix members, and it's about accountability. So staying on target with your goals and all your efforts, business or personal, otherwise. Upcoming member events, click here. And so I'm going to say, by the way, Kat's on the call. If you have an event that's coming up and you want to get it promoted within the universe of the Phoenix Echo Chamber, get a hold of Kat. Canada Growth Network. We meet every Monday at 1 p.m. to 1 to 2 p.m. Click here, free to attend. We have different guests showing up, and I will share the contact details shortly and as we go along. East Trade Winds, it's every Tuesday, 8 to 9, also free to attend. And these two events run somewhat parallel, but they're business guests, and they're from people across Canada, U.S., overseas. East End on the 20th of May. We're meeting in person and on Zoom. 7:30 a.m., by the way, not a.m., 7:30 a.m. sharp. And we're meeting at Hive at 1745 Courtwood. The beauty of that, you get to check out the Hive space. So if we need to rent space, they're a member of the Phoenix group. And there's more stuff coming in that particular space. But come on in. Then you know what? South End Group is going to meet in person on the following. So the 20th is a Wednesday. The following Thursday, South End Group is meeting at River Lounge, and that's off of Prince of Wales and Hunt Club. All right. If you see somebody here, here's somebody here, you want to know more about them, click on the QR directory on the website, and it'll take you down into the rabbit hole of the contact details. You'll see the QR code over my shoulder, and that QR code is driven by this platform. If you're a Phoenix member, you get the e-card, and that's just a quick and easy way to share information and contact details. The card has generated 187 clicks year to date, so that shows you the number of times people have clicked on it. Amount of business conducted between members, over 5 million since 2016. Year to date figures, oh, by the way, it's beginning of the month. Share your stats with Tony. All right, don't forget. By the way, year-to-date stats, not including stuff that are due in from May, $24,000 worth of business just between members, and that just talks and speaks to the power of connectivity. I'm going to stop share, and we're going to have a educational minute. Mr. Sam Sturrows, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. What I want to talk about today, well, I could probably relate it to automobiles, but more importantly, when it comes to business, being honest is probably the most important thing you can possibly do for yourself and for your customers. It creates what's called trust, something that's very important in life. not only in your personal life, but also in your business life. I've been lucky throughout my life not having the pressure of making sales because often salespeople are pressured to, do more and more and sell more. And that often can relate to saying things that maybe not be very honest. And these days you can see a lot of that going on in public life, maybe more south of the border than in Canada. And that kind of ruins the credibility of the people and the trust they have in public people and possibly public trust in yourself as a person to do business with. I in my business, in fact, I had a customer just the other day, and he related to me how he had been ripped off by all kinds of automobile people when it came to the work that he needed done. And he related to me that a person had told him that he needed his key fob, he needed a new battery in it because that was causing his car not to start. And I went, well, if there's enough battery to push the button, and he says, no, I have a key. And I went, no. I said, I said that battery in that fob only will open your doors and maybe pop your trunk. It's got nothing to do with starting your car. And he looked at me funny. He says, well, that's not what the mechanic told me. And I got to go into the dealership on Friday. I said, well, I said, you're going to charge you $200 just to look at your key fob. I said, but you go right ahead. And he says, well, can you look at my car before Friday? I said, sure. I said, but don't waste your time going in to get a battery done. I said, I can put a battery in your key fob if you want. So I'm going to see him Thursday, I think it is. Uh, anyway, getting back to the honesty part, I've never heard of, and if you don't know something, just be honest. Just tell them I don't know. I've never heard of it. And that's what I told him. I said, I've never heard of a key fob with a manual key that had anything to do with starting your car. That it's a mechanical connection. So anyway, I want to pass along that to you. I know all of you probably are already honest people, and you're doing a great job of servicing your customers. But try and stay away from that pressure to make a sale and deceiving someone in one way or another. I said that's your conscience and something that you have to live with in the rest of your life, and try not to be that way. That's it for me. Back to you, Bernie.
Sam, what a good way to be. And so we're live on LinkedIn. That is the link to in the chat for uh, the post. Put content in there, folks. Feel free. Nothing too wild though. Like, let's say, love notes to CRA, courtesy of Eric or something like that. But, you know, just we'll keep her smooth. All right, we do a round robin of, hey, what's going on? Any BAMS referrals that's transpired over the last bit. And I'm going to start with Susan McGarry.
I just knew it. Had a
You
feeling
knew
in
it?
my bones. Good morning, everyone. I'm Susan with Restream. I've been with this company since I don't want to tell you how long because it'll age me. But that being said, I'm full time with it. We carry a line of health and wellness supplements, Mediterranean based. I wanted to touch on Cardio 9. I dropped off 2 jars to our dear friend Eric, who's exhausted because he just did his full end year in taxes, and now everyone I hope is done for the year and you can take a breather. But I did ask AI, what are the top 3 benefits to taking nitric oxide every day? Number 1, better circulation, heart health. Nitric oxide helps relax and widen blood vessels, which improves blood flow and oxygen delivery throughout the body. It can support healthier blood pressure, endurance, and cardiovascular function. Number 2, more energy and physical performance. As we age, natural nitric oxide production drops. Supporting it can help muscles get more oxygen and nutrients, which can improve stamina, walking, workouts, recovery, and even reduce that heavy, tired feeling. And finally, number 3, the benefit to nitric oxide, consuming it every day. I love this one because it's working for me at 59. Healthy, sharper brain function. Healthier blood flow also affects the brain. Better circulation may support focus, memory, mental clarity, and overall cognitive health as you get older. And that's a fact. You can trust me. I am not making this up, Sam. So if you want to reach out to me and want more information about Cardio 9, Susan with Churchroom, I'd be only delighted to get that information to you. Thank you. Back to you. And no BAMs, except if you want to count Kat and I. We're ongoing BAMing all the time, right, Kat? And ongoing business with Eric, dropped off your cardio 9. And Tony, thank you so much. You put a great order in with me. Thank you. Back to you, Bernie. Thank you.
Susan, absolute pleasure. And East Trade Winds, our guest speaker next week is Adam Revez. He does productions, One Inch Punch Productions. He's a 20-year video storytelling veteran. He's located in the Peterborough, north of the GTA, not Peterborough. And I'm going to swing the mic over to, well, you know what, Sam, and then I will go to Wendy. Go ahead, Sam.
Thank you again, Bernie. samstorsconnectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, my company, Connected Cars, specializing in dash cameras, nicely installed in a vehicle, no wires hanging down right to the fuse panel. Perfect for things called parking mode, where the dash camera works when the car is actually off. If you're interested in something like that, contact me. Also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs. And this week I'm talking about battery life. I have a customer, one of my squash buddies, did the tire rotation for him, but he talked about having to replace his battery, and he said it lasted quite a while. And I said, yeah, I said that's great. I said, but you know, if you drive your car a very short distance, especially in the wintertime in our part of the world, that battery doesn't get charged. Usually it takes at least 20 to 30 minutes driving time to get your battery charged after you start it up, and especially in those minus 20-degree conditions that we get January, February. I said, so be aware of that to make sure that if you start your car, that you don't just go to the corner store and turn around and come back, because that battery will be depleted even more. And I'm going to add a little bit to that because we're no longer in winter. In the summertime, do your battery a favor. A lot of people have their air conditioning on in their car, and when they shut their car off, they just turn the car off and they leave the air conditioning engaged. Well, the air conditioning pump has a little desk basically in it, and it engage and disengages. But when you start your car with the air conditioning on, that air conditioner actually is engaged. So that takes a little more extra drive from the battery to start the car. So do yourself your car a favor, your battery in your car, make it last a little longer. Do yourself a favor and turn off that air conditioning just before you shut your car off, and the battery will appreciate it very much. That's it for me, Sam Stewart, Connected Cars, today's mobile electronics without the cost of a vehicle, and lots more.
Sam, thank you so much, and good to know. Always learn a new tidbit from Sam. That, and make sure your tires aren't bald, or if you're driving an electric car, what to look for. And so I'm just going to reiterate and recap that with Kat, reach out to her for a connection on social marketing, social media marketing within the Phoenix space, and she also does that as her job too. But she'll talk about that in a bit. I'm going to swing the mic over to Wendy Chung, and then I'm going to Eric, so Eric has enough heads up time. Go ahead,
Good morning,
Wendy.
everyone. Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy. I bring honesty and integrity to all my relationships, whether personal or professional. I find myself recently being referred to a number of clients who have not been successful with other agents. And I know what the problem is. A lot of agents are transactional minded, so they're just looking to get a paycheck. But really, what I do is I spend the necessary time getting to know my clients, understanding what their needs and wants are and challenges, and working through it in a timely manner to get them to the finish line. So if you know of anyone who has struggled or is struggling and would like a second opinion, I would love to talk to them and see if we would make a good fit together. So please keep me in mind. I have no BAMs to report, but ongoing business with Tony, with Kat, and Susan Ebbs, and of course, Jacqueline. Thanks very much, everyone, and have a great week.
Wendy, thank you so much. And the next quick promo is the Power Hour. That's next Monday, and Ben Joya is going to be joining us. He's reaching out from Spain. He's helps people write books and get their books up and running. And Eric, and then we'll go to Susan Ebbs. Eric, over to you, sir.
Good morning, Bernie. I slept in this morning, so I had the trouble finding my footing for the next for the first few minutes. Thank you for not putting me on the spot like you're usually famous for doing.
Oh, Eric, it's pure love, man. It's pure love.
Uh, uh, Lifetime warranty. Yeah, the word lifetime warranty. It depends what you ask when you ask for lifetime warranty. You take batteries, for instance. My father-in-law was the controller of a multinational battery company. You know, one of the ones that make Everready and all of those brand names that that company owned. And he used to tell me that a car battery lifetime meant 4 years. 4 years. That's the manufacturer of the battery saying that. In Canada, in the U.S., southern U.S., it could be 8 years. It could be 10 years. But in Canada, if you live in Winnipeg or you live in Saskatoon, it's 4 years. So ask what lifetime warranty means because it means different things to different people, even to the people who make the equipment and the manufacturing. Uh, Catching up from tax season, you sometimes see people at their very best and at their very worst. And sometimes we have clients that we only see once a year because of the we don't do personal taxes all year round. We may do, but we don't see the multitude of people that we see during March and April. So the problem that comes most of the time, when they're in my office, is opposite to what I get when I get a corporate client. A personal tax client wants to minimize their taxes as much as possible, wants to pay no tax. Wants to sell 5 buildings, make $500,000 in capital gains, but pay no tax. A corporate client is someone who is in business and wants to improve their tax position, wants to do decisions that are going to make in the long run, minimize their tax, wants to use their assets in a way that is more profitable from a tax point of view. So the discussions are very different. In March and April, the discussions tend to be, more daily, more yearly. Like this is what you do this year. During the rest of the year, when I do corporations, the discussions is what you do in the next 5-10 years, and that's the big difference in accounting between a corporate client and a personal client. So, in the tax season, you see all kinds of problems that you don't see during the year. And one of the problems is the payment of tax, because CRA is bamboozling people with the payment of tax, not how much you owe, but with how you pay it. And yesterday, they said that you could no longer go in the last week of tax season to the bank and pay your tax bill. That you have to do it electronically. This is for personal tax clients. So what could we do about this? Well, anytime you talk, I don't know that you talk on the phone with CRA very often, but if you ever do, lead with that. Lead with an accusation on how they are divorcing themselves from their market and how electronic digital relationship is taking over the entire relationship that they want to do with the public. So in 2 or 3 years, there will be no contact with CRA whatsoever when you deal with them. It will be an impersonal computer that will actually, well, what's happening now, which will assess your tax return. Your tax return, the tax returns that we did last week are already assessed by CRA. So it's not people who are doing it, it's computers. We cannot, if we make a mistake, if we made a mistake or the client brought additional information, on Friday, the day after, we have to wait 5 days from Friday so that they can give an assessment so that we can uh, change into a reassessment. So it takes 5 days for Canada to do your taxes, and it's done by a computer. And a computer is based on a artificial intelligence criteria that if you sell ice cream, you have to have seasonal sales higher than winter sales. If you are in a retail mall, you have to have November, December higher than January, February. Those kinds of things, the computers, the digital AI is doing, and they're mostly right most of the time. But you cannot fight a machine, so come to an accountant so we know how to fight the man. Thanks.
I haven't heard that reference. Fight the man. The man. Yeah, there's muscle cars and 60s, 70s rock music rolling in the background. Uh, so if you can't make a meeting, Mike Wazowski can help you. Uh, the Mike Wazowski can help be your stand-in. He won't be a total doppelganger, but he will help present your content and your message about your business. And I'm going to swing over now to Susan Ebbs, and then I'm going to go to our guest, Devin. Susan, go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Bernie, and welcome, Devin. It's nice to have a guest into the meeting. The one comment I have, Eric, about the everything being electronic. What about the 92-year-old grandma that doesn't even own a computer? How are they supposed to operate? I know in our apartment building here, we have to pay our rent online. We have to use our phones to pay for our laundry, and oh yeah, hydro, you don't get a actual bill anymore. It's all done through email, so you just can't get away from it. So enough of that. My name is Susan Ebbs. I'm with a company called Melaleuca.com, and we specialize in green and clean cleaning products. There's no chemicals in it, no phthalates, no hormone disruptors. And the beauty of our cleaning products are they're not going to send you to the hospital if you decide to take a drink of it. Like why you would want to, I don't know, but you don't have to worry about that part of it. And oh, you're going to clean your bathroom, you're not going to have an asthma attack just inhaling the scents of the cleaning products. Last week we talked about no tub and tile for your bathroom, which cleans the bathtub and the counter and all that sort of thing. Well, today, the one thing that's even better, no work. Can you see it? Okay, this is a spray bottle. We only put a little bit in the bottom of the bottle of the product, and the rest is water. And after your shower, you just spray the shower curtain. You can get rid of the scum off of there, and the walls, it just melts it, and you don't have to worry about doing any work. As the name says, no work. You just wipe it down and your shower comes out nice and clean and smells nice. So it's a good way, the two products, to pair together. The tub and tile does the main work, and the no work does no work. So Susan Ebbs, Melaleuca.com, our products, oh, I must mention, they're concentrated. So we're using less bottles, putting less bottles into the environment. So we're helping the environment in that way. And we're also helping the environment in our homes by putting less chemical, well, not less, no chemicals into our homes. So Susan Ebbs with Melaleuca.com. BAMS, well, Wendy and I have ongoing business, as do Penny Lee. And Norm placed an order last week after my talk in person for some of that tub and tile. So I look forward to seeing everyone next week, and thank you so much. Here's my
Susan,
contact information in the chat.
Susan, thank you so much. And the next quick promo is just it's about the Ad Hive event on the 20th. Details are in there. The bistro is also available. Devin, by the way, you have you have like a minute. You can kind of say what you do, etc. You can put your contact details in the chat, by the way. Go ahead, Devin.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me onto this call, Bernie. It's great to hear about everyone's businesses. So I'm someone that helps educate families and individuals in the finance space. So when we're all growing up, I'm sure you'd all agree that we're taught to go to school, get a good job, and get it in the workforce, but we're not always taught on what we should do with those overall paychecks that are coming in. That can result in a lot of families struggling financially. These days, over 50% of Canadians are going paycheck to paycheck. Some individuals can get overloaded with credit cards or things happening with their mortgage, car expenses. So I show families how to get out of debt 10 to 15 years sooner without actually taking a dime out of their pocket. I specialize in setting up registered disability savings plans for those who have a disability that qualify for this. To be honest with you, as it's a niche spot for me, as I have a little sister with Down syndrome. So navigating those aspects with my parents when I was younger was something that was always an underlying passion for me. So I show families how to actually go through this application and get free, basically bond money for their children that do have a disability, and show them ways that they can get access to incredible grant money for future expenses for that individual, as they don't always have the opportunities that everyone else has in the workforce. But I'm someone that offers free consultations to do an overall assessment of your personal scenario, just to see if there's some areas that I could actually help out with. So I appreciate your time.
Devin, thank you so much. And we'll swing over to the deep-voiced gent in the room, Mr. Tony Jennis.
What deep voice?
What you want, right?
Thanks, Devin, for coming in. Good to see you today. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. I work with everything to do with just regarding health, and mostly energetic. I am a medium, clairvoyant, and I give readings, tuning sessions through different frequencies of tuning forks and so on. But one of the three things I wanted to mention today was copper. I mentioned that we're expanding our line of copper bracelets. Copper and magnets, these are a combination of copper and magnet. They help the circulation. They bring a completely different version of anti-inflammatory to your body in a natural way, where it's actually absorbed into your body through your hand. And so that's a great one. If you're in front of the computer a lot, you get a lot of EMFs. In my case, sometimes I'll have two computers going, my phone's going, there could be a router behind me, and so that really puts your energies out of whack. The EMFs out of that is incredible. So we use a bracelet called Shungite. It's what the astronauts use when they're in the capsule so they don't get fried, because there's so much electronics in there. It's like a microwave. So it takes about 98% of the EMFs out of the air. So wearing it as a bracelet, either left or right, doesn't matter, but it will really deflect a lot of the EMFs coming off you. The other one is a new one that we just got in yesterday, and it's silver. This is pure silver, and it's amazing. The prices of silver has really skyrocketed recently. But silver hospitals used to use on their used to actually eat in the 1920s. They had silverware that they gave to the patients, silver lining on the linen and everything else, and they were covered with silver, different things. And they still put silver on open wounds so it doesn't infect. And so wearing this will bring in an incredible amount of health to you as well. So. These are some of the things that we're involved in. We have over 100 different kinds of health bracelets. So when you come in, you can take a look at them. So Tony Jeunesse from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. In terms of business, still ongoing business we're doing with Josh, our IT person, ongoing with Kat. She's amazing. You got to have a BAM with her, or she is a whiz at marketing and the social media aspect, but just strategy, just building a strategy around everything. And Eric Senego, he's doing our taxes for both of our companies with Phoenix and the another one. Sandy Benoit had a BAM with her. She's our pet whisperer on the After Hours group. And Bernie, we went to your East Trade Winds yesterday, so looking forward to that. Also looking forward to the At Hive get together. And just so you know, I think it's this Sunday that's Mother's Day. I just wanted to highlight that. So definitely send out a love to your mom in case she's far away or whatever. So, and that's about it. Back to you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And for myself, Bernie is the first name. Whole bunch of details in the chat. One thing to bring your attention to is the blog post. You'll see the most recent conversations that are being had. It's not that you should read all the blogs. You can be my guest. There are a lot of tidbits of information out there. For example, we had a conversation with Thea Newcomb on Monday about Canva and what are the actually new pieces of services that are baked into Canva. Like you can actually animate a photo now, or you can take an image from AI and dump it in, and then Canva can put layers. And what does that mean is if, great image, but the AI, put in some words that are misspelled, you can peel that up and correct it or take it out. So those are kind of the tidbits that you can find out about, right? And so that's kind of the beauty of a lot of these sessions. You end up getting more information that you might not know about. And what else? Yeah, warranties. So last night, the missus was coming up to the to where my office is to take a picture of the sunset because it was just beautiful. And all of a sudden, my UPS said, "Hey," and all she could smell was burnt electrical, right? And so it's like, oh, yeah, I come trotting into the room and disconnect everything and plug it in, and all of a sudden it went again. And you're out of the house. I don't want to have the e-bike experience. I want to have that outside of the house. So that if it decides to, be a burnt offering, my neighbor can enjoy the forest fire. No, no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't give it to the neighbor. So yeah, warranties, they're interesting. Then I checked on it. I bought it in July 2020. So here's your tech tip for the day. If you have a UPS, it has a shelf life. And it's a 3-year warranty, and 5 years was good lifespan. It was a capacitor that failed on the hardware. All right. BAM wise, met with Carl. That was a meeting this week. And then there's Tony, Jacqueline, that showed up at East Trade Winds this week. So thank you. Appreciate it. Content's going to be pushed out ever so shortly. You can hear about the Mitch Weisberg story and how to actually deal with the irate customer and how to position yourself in an ideal format. And I'm going to stop talking because you know what? I'm not presenting. Jacqueline, the mic is yours, ma'am.
Why, thank you, everyone. I know this morning I took a long, deep breath. I lifted my shoulders, I took them back, and I released them down, and I welcomed the day. There's so much to do. It's Wednesday. Some would call it, it's the hump in the middle of the week. And I am appreciating that I get to open my door and starts to see my garden grow, because that's what I do with my clients all day long. I sow the seeds so that they can watch them sprout. And I get to do this groovy presentation, so I understand that I will be able to. I know I'm going to share a screen. I'm very excited. And it'll happen in a moment.
Dun, dun, dun,
I just get,
dun.
There we go. So I'm going to use screen one and
Share
maybe
started.
not.
And you might want to pick. That's a ticket. You're up and running. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You,
Good.
you. I love technology when it works for me. And today I'm going to talk about everything you should know about the first home savings account. So I'm a mortgage specialist, and there's so many people who walk the path of home ownership or real estate ownership. There are tiny things that you may want to know, just like Eric told us that beautiful piece of information about what you need to do when you're speaking with CRA. This is everything you need to know should you want to speak to the art of owning a property, because you decided to call Wendy and say, I've never done it before. My mission is to make sure that we find the answers outside the box. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what location you are. It's about finding the answers. So as I said before, take a long, deep breath, lift your shoulders, take them back, drop them down. You know, that's beautiful neuroscience that we do every day, especially when we're thinking about an acronym. I love acronyms, don't you? So what is the FHSA? It's a registered savings plan. It's an account for first-time home buyers. And I'm going to get into what that really means as a first-time home buyer. What's the definition? So a first-time home buyer means that this particular product opportunity combines RSP tax deductions and your tax-free savings account withdrawals. This program is built to accelerate a down payment savings. You know, how do you come up with, I'm dealing with a client, how do you come up with $150,000 when you've got $50 in the bank? So then who qualifies, you and your $50 in the bank? You need to be Canadian. I deal with so many, certainly first entrepreneurs who happen to be immigrants. There are ways that you can find a home, but my first comment will always be speak to your experts, speak to your real estate experts, figure out what you could want to see. That phone call with Wendy is imperative. You need to be between 18 and 71. I've been to 18 before, and it's interesting knowing that I may have $50 in my bank account. And so all of this must meet the rules for first-time home buyers. Canadian, between 18 and 71, because no home ownership, lived or owned, that you are not to have owned over the last 4 calendar years. So, you know, at 70, you may have owned a few properties, but maybe not now. The last time you owned a property was when you were 65. You sold it. You decided, I don't need this. You're renting. And now at 70, you found the perfect space. You are now a first-time home buyer. 4 calendar years as no ownership. So when I talk about the $50 in your bank account, let's talk about the contribution rules. Maybe it was this most extraordinary birthday that you had, and Aunt Patty gifted you $10,000. Or maybe Uncle Steve gifted you the motorbike. How will that help you? So it's about when I said Aunt Patty, she gave you $10,000 in that year, you can make that contribution to your first home owner savings account, up to $8,000. So what you do with the other 2,000, that's why we want to invest. David Chilton, the wealthy barber, will talk about all day long. Use at least 10% of your income. Maybe that is the 10% of your income. Your lifetime contribution to your FHSA is $40,000 because Aunt Patty keeps giving you another $10,000. You can only use $40,000 of it in that contribution. And understand, you have a journey to take. Now, here it is. Maybe Aunt Patty didn't give you that $10,000 again. Maybe it was just $1,000. You can carry forward up to $8,000 if unused unused because you know you've got opportunities in place to continue on with moving forward to buying that home that Wendy's going to help you find. The maximum contribution in 1 year truly can be $16,000. Remember, you carried it forward, your $8,000. So now it's 16 that's available to you. I know you've got a piece of paper and a calculator, and you will always calculate what's next. And what's kind of interesting is you always think, well, is this a government thing? What good is this for me? Let's call that a triple tax advantage. Eric, a triple, not a one, not a two, but a triple tax advantage. And what that allows you to do, did you know your contributions are tax deductible? Did you know that what you're compiling, its growth, is tax-free? No, it's not capital gains. It is tax-free according to the stipulations. And then qualifying withdrawals, like with your RSP, you know that you're going to have to pay a fee. When you take care of your FHSA, you do not have to pay a fee to withdraw. You did some hard work making that expand. Now, could that work with other programs? Yes, it can. It's part of the RSP home buyer plan. So you found a home, you need a $100,000 down payment. With your FHSA, you compiled $40,000. You need another 60, but that's in your RSPs because you were using the extra $2,000, $20,000, and you were investing it. Potentially, you could access larger down payment funds. So when you've got your FHSA, there could be a gift that family have offered you for that down payment. That gift is a non-repayable gift from family, and it has to be from real family, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister. And then it's about the strategy of planning. I just said, take out your calculator. Maybe you have a journal that you're using that you're saying, hey, I have a plan today. And as I continue to talk about that, there are some mistakes to avoid. First mistake, don't wait too long. 18 to 71, don't wait too long. It will gain. If you found that you're over contributing, you took out your calculator, because Eric said make sure you're understanding what's happening in your life of taxes, and you over contributed. So you didn't do your $8,000 per year. You did $9,000 per year. There is a penalty. Interesting how that is. Holding cash only when this is something that you want to think about. Holding cash only when timeline allows investing. So you've got those pennies, and I talk about it in my book, Yoga for Your Personal Finances. Instead of the 5 coffees that you're going to get from Starbucks, how about you get two instead, and use that one coffee cash to invest. Don't hold it, invest it. Missing out with the withdrawal and the qualification rules. So to understand, there are notes to make sure that you look at, write down what your next withdrawal, if that's the case. Remember, there's only so much time, and this could be, in your world, a gift. So the wealthy yogini has a few strategies, or maybe just one. It's about open early, even with small contributions. Remember that $50 that's sitting in your account? Take out $45 and start investing. Align your savings with monthly intentions. So I talk about that. Make sure that it comes out. Maybe it's the first of the month, the 15th of the month, that your savings are pulled out and you throw that into your FHSA. It's about an automatic contributions, because treating this the way it should be treated is really about a prosperity practice. So let's think about this. Open early, maximize deductions, maximize contributions, and then pair it up with that mortgage plan. Where do you want to live? Have you spoken to Wendy yet? Is it out in this beautiful country space, or do you want to live downtown? Let's talk about it. Let's create calm. Let's be confident, because it is the opportunity to prepare for ownership. Let's build your path. So when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, oh my gosh, you need to contact your mortgage honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Tidbits were added. We're going to do a round robin for questions, and then I'm going to swing back to Kat, because Kat didn't go ta-da. So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
right, Kat. Let's hear.
Well, my apologies. But does anybody have a question for Jacqueline? So I do have one question. Is the first time home ownership, you have to be under age 71? But you can own a home after 71, right? And get a mortgage, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
I got worried there for a second. Hang on. I'm starting to mature here. I don't want to get stuck in the.
Is that what they call a mortgage for life at 71?
Guaranteed for life, depending on
The
what
after-
life.
For life.
The after
4
hours
years.
mortgage. Yeah. It's interesting. I helped a family. It was mom who decided to downsize. So this is going years back. She was 73, so selling their house, and decided that she would buy another property. She bought a condo. Now that she's not a first-time home buyer, but she was at that age where she got to make decisions. She got to make choices. Between 18 and 71, we make choices.
Yep.
Wait, I take that back.
We can last longer than a car battery, you know.
Oh my gosh.
One hopes.
I have a quick question, if I may.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Jacqueline, what direction or advice do you give people that have $50 in the bank and want to do a down payment?
Yeah.
What suggestions or recommendations do you give people nowadays?
Yeah.
Or are you even able to or allowed to?
That's part of the strategic conversation. It's so you've got $50. Let's see if you did $50 every single week. What could that look like at the end of the year? Let's say that you make sure that in your, because I did this when I was working in a salary position. They pulled out, this is interesting. I asked people about what your company does for you. The company I worked for said that every dollar that I contribute into my savings, they will match. So think about that. If I had $50 and I contributed $50, they would match my $50. I will tell you, I left the company 6 years later, and I had thousands of savings, only because it was an automatic. I asked the company, what would you do for me? So those are the sorts of conversations. Some don't know to ask those questions.
Well, it's a lot better than "Come on, 7."
Oh. You don't hear the Winter Gagnon sound from the device either,
Yeah.
typically. And if it do, it's
Yeah.
like a buck.
I don't know what it is with one of my neighbors, man. He goes to the casino. He always comes back with around 1,600. He leaves with a couple of hundred. He's just the luckiest guy.
Are you sure he's going to the casino? He just
Well, yeah, that's
cover
my
story.
next question.
Because the odds aren't in his favor. Just
Oh my God.
letting you know.
But he's there all day, like.
Kat, over to you, ma'am.
Sam has a question, so we can let Sam ask his question first.
Oh,
I
Sam.
was just going to add that when it comes to, I got young people, my son and our daughter, and when it comes to saving money, a lot of young people today, because I get to see our daughters and our son's friends, they don't save money very well at all. They spend a lot of money going out, ordering in food, coffee breaks, going on vacations to different parts of the world. It's tough to save for a house when you're doing all that. A different time. I know, when we were young, we didn't travel as much. They didn't have the takeout service that, you get what do they call it? Delivering service, right to your house. I think in Australia they call it takeaway. If anybody wants to know a new word for Australian, they call it takeaway. Terrible habits because it just eats up your money, when we were kids, I think Canada, what they savings bonds, that was forced savings. You used to buy Canada savings bond right from work. That's a good way to save money for a house. Put away money. Just make sure that it's in the bank. Take it off your pay somehow where you're not out there blowing it on useless things that you can buy off Amazon. Another place where you can spend a lot of money for nothing. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. For about advice for somebody who's only got $50 in the bank.
Yeah.
Change strategies.
Well, here it is. At least they could say they had $50 in their bank, and I'm looking at the back. I teach, for the Enriched Academy, I teach about the art of saving, the art of what is your credit looking like. How do you deal with that? And it doesn't matter. Again, you could be 12. I teach this to little people who would love to know, how am I going to use my pocket money? So I teach about that with the enrichment program for, it says really teens, it's for anyone.
Yeah, go ahead, Wendy.
Oh, I just have a comment. Jacqueline, first of all, thank you so much for your presentation and your education. I also feel that, we really need to get back to basics. Like, we all grew up learning from our parents, how to save money, how to make money, not to just spend it frivolously. And I think that the way society is right now, it's a very consumer oriented society where we feel we need the next best shiny little whatever it is, right? And I think also a lot of parents are not financially educated either. So it becomes difficult. So I would think that at the education level at the schools, to introduce programs that will start teaching children what money is and what it can do for you. Not only that, but also about gardening, also about growing your own vegetables. I know that in this group, we had a gentleman, Stephen, a while back where he was selling the tower garden. Well, I just revamped mine and I'm going back to growing my own vegetables because I'm getting so tired of going to the grocery store, paying $5 for the head of lettuce. And then within 24 hours, it's rotten. So we have to get back to basics again, and we have to get back to the basic education that we've all grown up with, but we need to pass that forward to generations that are coming up, because I think there's going to be a lot of challenges if we don't get back to basics. And that's just my two cents.
Well, interesting you say cents. I know people who have ditched their copper penny, because you can't use a copper penny, or so they believe. That why would you throw away a copper penny? It is that mentality. Yeah. Thank you.
Don't want to start the story with River Styx. And with that note, over to Kat.
Right, I'm going to be very quick because we're running late. So never mind what I do. Bernie's already told you. I just want to take a few seconds to say two very important things. The first thing is I want to say to Susan Ebbs that it was her birthday on Monday, so I want to wish you a very happy birthday week. And because she was hoping she was going to get away with it, I'm going to follow up with Susan McGarry. I would like to say happy birthday today to Susan. So.
Birthday.
Happy
Yeah, you thought you'd
birthday
get away
to
with it.
you.
Did.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday.
Cat,
to
you're
you.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you, Kat.
Birthday. I
Yeah.
know.
that's
Thank
never
you.
hard being in the big 4-0. Yeah.
29 again.
Try 59. Oh
Close.
well,
You don't look.
it's
You
all
don't
good.
look. You
It's
don't
all
look.
good. Last year in my 50s. Woo.
It gets better. Next year,
Exactly.
you know, I'm 40. I'm 40. That's the truth.
Brr.
I'm going to close this off with a quote. Birthday girls. Wow. It's like, wow. All right. The quote, smile at strangers and you just might change a life. And that's from Steve Maraboli.